Good afternoon, world. It is moments past noon in Waxahachie, Texas, deep in the heart of the Lone Star State. And today is February 3rd, and I didn't really even hear. Did the hog see himself or not yesterday on
We have
Groundhog's Day?
we have 6 more weeks of winter, so I don't know if he sees himself. That means we have 6 more weeks if he doesn't see
Yeah, I
himself.
never knew how that
Yeah,
worked either. Okay,
but whatever he did or didn't do, we
yeah.
have 6 more weeks of winter.
So the day after Groundhog's Day, and it is episode number 116 in the mighty Grit and Good News. We are broadcasting as we always do from our palatial second story studio in the heart of downtown Waxahachie in the shadows of the Ellis County Courthouse. And ably and capably, as always, handling the board is our man Sam Brooks. I'm Jeff Lynch, your co-host, and to my right is your host, my friend Scott Brooks.
Thank you, bud. It's been a while since we have been here. Just as a
Indeed.
reminder, we do this show every Tuesday and Thursday, starting now through the remainder of the year. If we have to miss a week or two, we'll always let you know with advance notice. But we do it noon to 1 here in Texas on Central Time. And we have been out since the week before Christmas. So we had an extended break. I hope everybody enjoyed their Christmas holidays, and it's been cold since then,
Isn't it?
and
Yeah.
it's warmer today. It's very nice today. Yours truly came down with a bout of walking pneumonia. It's all the same to me. It had me out from Christmas Eve until
I've
two
always been
weeks later.
confused why that has a P at the beginning
Yeah,
of the
I don't
word.
know. It's one of those.
Pneumonia.
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's good to be back with you. Thank you for being here. We really always enjoy doing this. How was your Christmas?
My Christmas, I can't remember it.
Yeah, I know it's a month
It,
ago,
it was good.
more than a month
It
ago.
was good. Sometimes giving is more important than receiving, and I gave some gifts that were very, very valued. So
Yeah,
I
good.
enjoyed it. And
It's always better
uh,
than receiving, if you ask me.
Sam gave me some good news as I walked in. We did sneak in an extra episode. We did it last year. Scott was with me, and I did it solo with Sam this time. We did a career day over at St. Joseph Catholic Grade School, where I've taught poetry for a couple of years. And Sam said at the end of the day yesterday, we had 1,000 views. I
Yeah,
couldn't
that's
believe
good.
it. And I didn't think anybody even knew about it.
Well, you
So,
can count on every family member of those kids,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But I
yeah,
enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Those
yeah.
kids are bright kids.
They are
You know,
bright
kids
kids.
are
A lot of fun.
really good. So today we have a lot to talk about. As usual, we'll start with some minor stuff, some updates. But Sammy always provides the numbers of famous athletes that correspond with the number of episode that we're on. We're on
16,
116.
so
Looks
the
like we're
116 will be in this case we'll use
number 16.
16.
So I'll start out by
By telling
telling
you
you that
if
Joe
Montana
Montana's
is
not on
one of
that
the
list.
lists.
Ain't no kind of list. It's
I didn't really find a lot of 16s. I mean,
Well, Joe Montana, Trevor Lawrence.
yeah, Joe Montana. I got Joe Montana, Len Dawson,
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence,
yeah,
George Blanda,
yeah,
Jake Plummer,
Yeah.
Jared Goff. You were 16, right? Jared Goff?
yeah,
Yeah. And then Frank Gifford.
yep.
He's an oldie. Ed Healy. He's another oldie.
And then Frank was married to Kathy
Yeah,
Lee,
of the
right?
show.
And then Sam won't know this. What positions did George Blanda play? He played two
He did.
positions.
He was quarterback and field goal kicker.
And I would say he had far more renown as a field goal
No
kicker.
doubt. Sammy,
And you can do
Frank Gifford, Sammy was the original Monday Night Football announcer with Howard Cosell and Dandy Don Meredith.
and that
He
was
was
a nice
great.
booth, wasn't
It
it?
was a great booth.
It was a good,
No one will ever repeat that
yeah.
chemistry. All right,
All right.
that's football. What
All
about
right.
others?
Moving on to NBA. I only have 3
Yeah, that's
for
a weird
NBA.
number for NBA.
Yeah. But you can, if you think about it, you can get the one.
All right, I thought about it and I can't get it.
Lakers.
16 for the Lakers.
Pau Gasol. And then I don't know if you know this guy, Peja Stojakovic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he used
And
to
then
shoot lights out.
Bob Lanier.
Lanier. Bulls.
There's Sammy.
Bulls.
One thing did not change in the time that we've been away. Sammy's ability to articulate names
Did he?
still is not
Yeah.
much better.
Did he win those Jordan titles? Was
Who? Bob Lanier?
Bob Lanier, was he older than that?
Oh, much older.
Way
Oh,
older.
yeah,
Yeah,
much
way
older.
older.
Yeah.
Than that. Okay.
All right, moving on to MLB. You got any ideas?
16. I know Will Smith for the Dodgers.
I did not get
No.
him. I thought you were talking about the the actor.
No.
I got Whitey Ford for the Yankees, Dwight Gooden
Yep.
for the Mets, Hal Newhouser didn't get the team, Garrett Anderson didn't get the team, and then the last one, Aramis Ramirez.
Yeah, played for the Cubs and the Pirates.
Yeah, 16. Nothing was popping up that was
He played for
very.
the Pirates when I lived up there.
Oh.
All right.
All
What
right,
about hockey?
moving on to hockey.
Pat La
I,
Fontaine.
there a lot of
La
these names.
Fontaine. Yeah.
A lot of these names aren't that hard. So I'll start with Brett Hull,
Yeah.
Bobby Clark,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Henry Richard,
Yeah.
Marcel Dion, Pat LaFontaine,
La Fontaine.
Trevor Linden,
Yeah.
Alexander Barkov,
Yeah.
and then Mitch Marner.
Good.
Mitch Marner currently playing.
Yeah.
What about Marcel Dion with the Kings? Was a great one.
I got Marcel Dion.
Did you?
Yeah.
That Henry Richard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you another chance at it.
Henry Richard.
They had
Oh.
a French sub. Henri
Oh,
Richard.
Richard.
Henri Richard.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good list.
The Rocket.
That's good. There were more hockey players than any other
Yeah,
sport
that's
there.
yeah.
So there you have it. Next time we'll do number 17. Super Bowl's coming up this Sunday. It's a somewhat surprising Super Bowl. Our Bills got robbed against
What,
Denver.
it was 2 back-to-back pass interference, wasn't it? Or was it just
no,
one?
it wasn't a pass interference. It was an interception. They called it an interception.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So we got robbed. So it ought to be the Bills in one of these days. One of these days.
And that was the game that at halftime the snow started, right?
Yeah, well,
mean,
later,
it filled
I don't
up.
later after that,
Yeah.
it was like going in the fourth quarter.
But
it
there
just
was
snowed.
nothing before the half.
Yeah, so we got surprisingly but pleasantly, in my opinion, we've got Seattle, and we've got nobody in the sound of my voice, particularly my friends in Buffalo, will like this, but New England is back,
They're
and
frauds. They are frauds.
actually, I didn't, having lived in Buffalo all those years, that's Buffalo's rival. People in Buffalo hate the Patriots. I mean, despise the Patriots because they have had to endure the Brady Belichick years. But I don't. I think what we're seeing out of New England is an incredible,
Well,
incredible.
what was their
turnaround.
path? What was their path to get to the
I
Super
don't
Bowl?
know, but
It
they're in the
was
Super Bowl. It doesn't matter.
Well,
They're in the Super Bowl. They were 4-13 last year with the same path.
no.
Okay,
Their
you know-
schedule changes.
But not that much. It's still a conference.
Yeah.
Let's
division.
talk about the path within the playoffs. I pulled this out of the paper. Just wanted to make sure I had a good recollection
Yeah.
of what happened. This is something weird, and I don't know if this ever really happens. The Seahawks had the bye in the West.
And
The
Denver
Broncos
had
had the bye in the AFC. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know that it ever happens that way.
What do you mean?
Those two
The,
specific teams.
the teams that got the first round bye went
Oh,
on
went on made the Super
to
Bowl.
both of them go to the Super Bowl. That's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some percentages that would indicate that it happens more than we believe.
Yeah.
But you think back and you say, well, it's kind of different. I agree. So Seattle, it's in San Francisco, the game. I looked up the weather. It's supposed to be, this was the other day I did, so I didn't look it up today. Hey, Sammy, look up the weather in San Francisco for Sunday. When I looked at it, it was 55 and rain on Sunday, or maybe 55% chance of rain on Sunday, which won't, I hope that doesn't happen.
I hope so too. While he's coming up with this, I picked up a little statistical anomaly when I looked at the odds.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen to how these numbers work. Seattle favored by 4.5.
Yeah.
Over under 45.5.
Yeah.
Do.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
There is a 40 to 60% chance of light rain. The high is 67, dropping to mid 40s by nightfall.
Yeah. So they'll catch a little bit of that because they'll be playing at like 3:30 or 4 West Coast.
So what does that tell you about the rain?
These two teams will be able to deal with it.
Not in a down, is it? Obviously.
No,
Weather is the great equalizer.
it is.
I say it gives the disadvantaged team a chance.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a disadvantaged team here. Both play outdoors.
Right.
Both play in climates, particularly the Seahawks play in climate where it rains often. I think it's going to be a good game, and just based on personalities alone, I hope Seattle wins.
I was
And
gonna ask for your predictions.
Yeah.
I got Seattle whooping the crap
Well,
out
I
of
want
Patriots.
them to win. I don't know if they will, but I want them to win.
the odds are really always set to try to get money on both sides
Yeah.
of the bet so that the house doesn't get wiped out one way or the other, or
I
make a killing one way or the other. But
I saw this video. Sam Darnold was in an interview and he got asked, ball on the 1 on the goal line, are you passing or are you running? And he said he's gonna pass it.
yeah, for sure.
But
You know,
yeah.
we go back to our comments about the buys.
yeah,
I was saying that as though Denver was in the Super Bowl. They're not. So
No.
it's New England.
right.
So when I think about getting back to that reality,
Yeah, me too. I
I
wrote.
think that New England will be fine in the. I mean, it's going to be a good game. I could find reasons to like whoever wins, but I prefer Seattle to win.
Sorry about that screw up.
That's all right.
No, I don't like that.
Hey Terry, good to have you with us, brother.
Hey, don't we like the ease of the Roman numerals this time
Yeah,
with the XL?
yeah.
And if you can't figure that one out, shame on you.
It's number 60 is what we're on.
And
Yeah.
how about Scott? I think you'll know this. Sam, I don't know. How did the Super Bowl get named the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
The great Lamar Hunt,
Yeah.
who owned
The Texans.
the Texans, who became the Chiefs, who lives in Dallas, in Preston Hollow with Cuban and Jones and Dirk and
Yeah.
tons of people that are rich. He's out watching his kids play outside with the hottest new toy, the Super Ball. Do you remember Super Balls?
Nah, barely.
Oh my God, there's nothing like them.
Are those the ones that bounce?
They bounce
Yeah.
forever.
I know what those are.
They're so cool.
Yeah.
And so he went to the commission. He goes, I don't like this AFC NFC championship game. What a crummy name. I mean, we got World Series, we got Stanley Cups.
Mm,
We need a name. How about Super Bowl?
yeah, that's a good name.
Yeah. There you go.
So anyway, just one other thing about the Super Bowl, and we'll move on. Remember the halftime show this year is Bad Bunny. And we're going to talk about briefly. We're going to talk about the Grammys here in a second. But at the same time, TP USA, which is Charlie Kirk's organization, will have a patriotic. They're calling it patriotic halftime. Which I think if you just go to any of their pages on social media or tpusa.com, you'll be able to watch it. We'll watch it. We'll flip over.
Right?
Kid Rock and a few other country folks. So we're looking forward to that. The Mavs
Wait,
are
Kid Rock in addition to Bad Bunny?
no. There's two different.
Oh, Kid Rock over at
Yeah,
the
at
Kirk.
TPUSA.
Okay.
Uh, Mavs. We won't spend a lot of time on these things, but Mavs are still 11th place, I think.
Yeah,
Cooper's playing
they're not
better.
having a good season. The only good thing is Cooper, but
Yeah, Cooper's playing well. Got Sammy all up in a tizzy. Stars had a great game last night. Stars are playing well. They ought to do well. It'll be playoffs for all we know it.
5 in a row.
But last night was a great game in Dallas. Uh, let's see. I got a couple of Tarnations. Tarnations, for those of you who haven't heard, like Jed Clampett of the Beverly Hillbillies used to say way back in their show, if he saw something that he didn't quite understand, his way of expressing it was what in the Tarnations. So we have what in the Tarnations here. I'm just gonna characterize the mayor of Minneapolis, James Fry. The guy is a tarnation if there ever was one. The guy between Walls and Fry, they're destroying the city of Minneapolis. I don't know what more has to happen to that city before the citizens of that city say enough already. We destroyed this place almost in 2020 with George Floyd, and now we're back at it. And there's billions of dollars of fraud. I believe it's going to be worse than anybody thinks. But allowing Somalis or any ethnic group, to come in and not assimilate and create their own country within a country is ridiculous.
ICE is the best thing that happened to both of those guys to take the heat off the Somali issue.
Yeah, I agree with you. We're pro ICE here on this show. Uh, we've written some, our Substack, our Grit and Good News on Substack.com. $5 a month, you get all kinds of content from us in all kinds of forms, not the least of which are opinion columns and opinion poems. And we wrote something a couple weeks ago, I think about, or last week about ice. And man, I tell you, those people who are pro ice versus those of us, I mean, those of us who are anti ice, when compared to those of us who are pro ice, it is volatile. I mean, obviously it's volatile because people have been killed. Ice agents are being attacked and all that, but just columns elicit such venom from people. So we're watching Minneapolis just continue to commit what I would say is city suicide. And between Fry and Walls has said enough's enough. He's gonna. My guess is Walls gonna end up in jail. And but they're destroying what was a great American city.
Do you realize that all of this that first broke out on this ice deal, because then it spread all over the city and downtown became a focus, but it was all out at an area near what's called Lake Street. It's about the equivalent of 32nd Avenue, so 32 blocks from the middle of downtown. Okay,
Hmm.
that's the exact area where George
George Floyd
Floyd
was
was
killed.
killed. And guess what? A lot of that is still shambles.
Yeah, I just don't. Honestly don't understand the people of Minneapolis. I lay this at the feet of the politicians, but beyond that, the only way these clowns are in office is because people voted them to be in office. And it's just like with here. I mean, we obviously at Grit and Good News and the Waxahachie Sun, and personally here for me, I am willing to go to whatever lengths I have to protect, to the extent that I can, Waxahachie from bad actors like what we see in Minneapolis. And we have some here, and we're going to talk about it shortly. But to allow these people to be in office, Fry is a total. I mean, not only is he a clown, he's lighting the match, continuously lights the match. And to embrace a Somali, I mean, I believe we ought to embrace everyone who is here legally and who is willing to assimilate. But Waxahachie, by example, could never become a a a place where just for lack of a better ethnic group, I'm just going to say Haitians. So if a bunch of Haitians moved to Waxahachie, we would expect and demand that they assimilate. We wouldn't say in one corner of our town that they can just create a little Haiti and live, well, like a country within a country. We would not accept that. But yet Minneapolis is, and it's just quite the shame. So they're a tarnation like no other.
Yeah, and we've got a talking point to talk further about ice. Are we going to talk further, or should we
We got
talk a
more to
little
talk
bit
about
more?
ice. No, we'll get to it in just a
Okay,
second.
okay.
Let me go through the rest of the tornadoes. The Grammys, I don't know how many of you watched it. Bear to watch it. I watched. We let it we let it play, then we that way we can control what we have to see or don't see. I did hear Billie Eilish say that this is stolen land.
Nobody's illegal on stolen land.
Yeah, and yet she has a mansion that's built on stolen land that I'm sure she's not willing to give up, and that she has walls around and all that. These people
And
are
and
so.
then the Indian nation is saying, well, you know what? Maybe we just ought to move into your place,
Yeah,
Billy.
these people are so mentally uh inept. And one of these folks said, we are a powerful group and we ought to be heard. And I'm thinking, you just don't have any idea. One, you're a very small, infinitely small fraction of people that are at the Grammys, the Hollywood, the entertainment industry. A lot of people watch and are involved in the entertainment industry, but in terms of just the very, both literal and figurative, the actors is a small, small, small group of people, yet they believe they are so important. And time again, what they say is just insane and inane. The one that stood out there for me personally was Jelly Roll, who basically said Jesus is the answer, and if you don't like me saying that, too bad.
Could you
Um,
believe the transformation of a man
yeah,
losing 200 pounds?
yeah,
Of
it
course,
is.
none of you people saw me before I've lost 130, but I'll tell you
Yeah,
what, 200 is
yeah,
quite
he
a
looked
feat.
great, and I just applaud him for taking a stand. I just can't believe that the Grammys have not figured it out after all this time. I don't know what the ratings were for this show, but the Grammys were tarnation of the
They were
whole.
a train wreck, as
It,
as they always are.
it was. I mean, I will say that there are some. I mean, just the music. If you listen to some of the music, I like it. But to watch these, I mean, Lady Gaga was in a bird outfit.
Bird cage.
You had Justin Bieber up there in his boxers. playing the song. You had countless others. Just I don't know. I forget the entertain. What's his name? Sammy, the influencer? No, a black guy that he had on a green weird looking outfit with red gloves. Calls
Mm.
himself his name the creator, the
Tyler, the
artist.
Creator?
Yeah, that's
Oh, okay,
him.
Tyler, the Creator, yeah.
Yeah, and he had a car on the stage that ran into. It was bizarre. Um, I think that's it. I do have that on my list, on the sheet of this 67,
Yeah.
which is I don't know what it is.
Me neither.
But it's this thing where kids get all hyped up. We
They were
showed it
doing
once
they were
before.
doing it behind Jeff. Jeff, you didn't see him, but the kids behind you were doing the 6'7" emote for the
No,
camera. Yeah,
no.
Hey,
yeah.
we showed some videos, I think, before we went on break, and it's just one of those weird deals. Terry says Patriots in an upset, maybe, and I don't even know if that'd be an upset, to be honest with
It
you. I don't
would
know
be.
who is. Are the Seahawks picked to win?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I did a little research on 67.
yeah. Did you?
Okay, so it really started in a Whataburger uh, in Charlotte. LaMelo Ball, you know,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, LaMelo Ball, who plays
Yeah,
for Charlotte.
yeah.
He's 6'7",
Yeah,
and he started talking about 6'7", and then a rapper by the name of Skrilla, which I think is kind of a cool name. Skrilla
yeah,
invented the song,
yeah.
and then kids would have riots at the Whataburger when they called order number
Yeah,
67. So they banned or number 67, and then they conversely banned number 69 for the same general reason.
yeah. I mean, it's just it's
It's
crazy.
one of those dumb trends that
Yeah,
just picks
it
up and
catch on.
doesn't
It
slow.
catches on,
Yeah.
right? Um, let's talk about. We're gonna shift gears here and talk about some local stuff. I've I have been writing like a maniac in the past month.
Some people say your writing is maniacal.
Yeah, well, that is the job of a columnist is to elicit emotion, elicit critical thinking, elicit response. It's not to have somebody read something and go ho hum. Indifference is the killer of any writer, and so I'll take it. I mean, as Jeff and I were talking earlier, we were calling on Friday, or no, yesterday about Jack Smith, the special prosecutor who was after Trump, and man. Uh, Going with 500, I think, comments, something like that. People just ripping and roaring, and most all of them are angry with me for espousing the idea that Jack Smith was wrong. I'm certain Jack Smith was wrong, but anyway, it's just that you want that response. So anyway, let's talk about local elections. There are lots of things going on here. I've been writing locally as much as I have nationally. There are two races. Not that they're any more important than the other races, but we have a March primary coming up. That early voting begins February the 17th, so 2 weeks from today. There will be early voting starting for races like county judge, which is when we hear county judge, I need to make sure you all know that it's not a judge. It has nothing to do with judiciary, nothing to do with,
No courtrooms.
yeah, not courts, judgments. It's Ellis County Judge. I don't know why we call it that, but in most communities that I've lived, it would be called the Ellis County Commissioner, Ellis County Executive, but it is the person that is, and another way of saying it is almost like a mayor is of a city, that this person is of the county. So we have three people running for this position. The incumbent is Brian Harrison. His opponents are John Garrett and Matt Authier, both of whom I know. I know Harrison by way of just observing him closely. His background in D.C. I worked in D.C. I have friends in D.C. that in the political realm who know of Brian Harrison and his antics up there and tactics and all that stuff. So that raises a big concern because we are only as good as our representative is at doing what's best for Waxahachie and Ellis County in Austin. So if we don't, I mean, if we have a guy in Austin who's despised on both sides of the aisle, despised with a strong dose of made fun of, laughed at, ridiculed, pushed aside, ostracized. I mean, it's a combination of things that say Brian Harrison as the incumbent, who's been in office now over 4 years, and as I've written many times, as we probably have talked about, has not got one bill passed, not one. He submitted 205 or so. Very few of those even got out of committee, but none have been even made it to the governor's desk. So why is Brian Harrison in this position? Brian Harrison is probably the most ineffective politician I've ever seen. And I've been in places like Washington, D.C., like Buffalo, New York, like Baltimore, like Denver, like Cleveland, like Pittsburgh. I mean, this guy, and he's loved by a group of people that want to vote him in, but I don't think those group of people really care much about what he has or hasn't accomplished. And so I say to you, well, if you believe what Brian Harrison says, which is an awful lot, and he's the most arrogant speaking guy. I don't think that arrogance really is an indication that he's arrogant. It's an arrogance that makes me believe he's insecure, and so he's always got to be talking about himself. But it is about himself 99% of the time. And he even had a post, I think today or yesterday, that said, most politicians just talk, I get results. And if the truth is the opposite. All Brian Harrison does is talk. He hadn't got any results in Austin.
I'm probably gonna word it wrong, but he said I get more results than every elected official in Texas combined,
Yeah,
which is just
it
crazy.
is crazy. Brian Harrison can't do anything on his own, and he claims that he saved all of us from DEI stuff, and to the to uh, as it relates to his contributions to fight against things like that, I'm grateful. But to suggest that he is solely responsible for it is just a flat out lie. And I don't want. I mean, we had 4 years of Biden, and one could say, well, Biden didn't do anything. Well, the truth is, Biden did a lot, but that hurt this country. As I was just saying about writers who if the response to what is written, if you're a writer and you write things and you put it in the public domain, and it's if it's apathy and indifference you get, you got to find another career. If you're a politician, send me this one out. If it's a politician who doesn't do anything with the job he's been given to do, then like with any other employee or somebody we hire, we wouldn't keep them. Yet we keep this guy. And what I find so disturbing is that those who defend Brian Harrison have either bought his BS uh, or are wanting to villainize Althea and Garrett. Neither of which should be villainized. I mean, I do have a preference in that race, which I'll be writing about next week. But uh, I know Matt and John. Neither are they perfect? Heck no. Have they made mistakes in their lives? Sure. Haven't we all? But to suggest that somebody who's struggled with life issues and has turned their life around is now condemned to never be able to hold office or achieve something is awful. It's awful. Redemption is a powerful, powerful element in our world, in our lives. And you want to cut somebody off from being able to be redeemed or redeeming themselves, then you've cornered yourself because you're going to need it one of these days.
We had a nice conversation the last time we had council elections about the value or lack of value of yard signs. Remember
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think overall we determined that they had a value. And I do remember this. Uh, Trey Atkins led
Trace.
Trace
Hmm.
led the city in signs by
Yeah.
a wide margin. And in my unscientific driving around town keeping an eye on things. I'm saying John Garrett is currently the sign leader.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I think signs are important, but you know, Brian Harrison has at the top of his sign Trump endorsed, and I honestly, Trump may have endorsed him for something at some point, but I think Donald Trump, one, I know enough about Harrison to know that and the relationship that who is this? This guy's a gnat buzzing around my face, and get out of the way. There's a lot about Harrison that people dislike, and I can understand why. So So I'm just saying to you, those that care, and I hope that you all of you care. This election for county judge matters. And I can tell you from Austin's point of view, Ellis County is laughed at because of who represents us. I would laugh at us too. It's like owning a company and saying, okay, well, I'm going to hire the biggest idiot on the planet and hope that nobody notices. And before long, people start laughing at the Waxahachie Sun. Some will do now because of their anger or whatever towards me. But um, I I don't know why we would want to be laughed at in Austin. Well, John Garrett, by example, has worked with a lot of people in Austin relative to the border and other things, and he's done a really effective job. So effective that he continues to be relied upon to help correct order issues on the border. Matt Authier has been on the school board. Matt Authier is a financial kind of a whiz kid guy, uh, smart guy, and he's worked his butt off. And you don't hear either John or Matt running around talking about how great they are. They'll talk about what they want to be and do as a representative. And look, if people want to criticize either one of those guys for having discussions or whatever, even in John Garrett's place situation, he has given money to a couple of Democrats who who were part of the border team, if you will, and because John wanted to make sure that things would get done, and to hold that against him is laughable. And for people to call him a rhino or Matt a rhino, or even in my case, somebody this morning called me a rhino. It's such an immature, shallow
I'm not
label.
sure I understand the insult on Rhino.
Republican in name only.
Oh,
Yeah. So
good
the
acronym.
idea, people are jumping on me because I've called out the Ellis County Conservatives, which, by the way, we'll talk here in a second about it, is a fraudulent group run by Amy Hedke of all people. I mean, I would have chosen Satan to run it rather than Amy Hedke and Kathy Ponce, who's a woman from California who runs her mouth constantly, is as loud and obnoxious as they come. These two women to the to not, I don't know what the word is. They're not they weren't known to be the ones running it. You look at a group, I don't want to get off track here, but if I say to you, what's the role of the National RNC, Republican National Committee? What's the role of the Democrat National Committee?
Support the Republican Party.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
it's to find great candidates, it's to have them run, provide them support, whether it be financial or other ways, and get them all in a room, get them all up on a debate stage, and let them work it out. It's not the set. You don't see the RNC, you don't see the DNC. They might be doing it in back rooms, which I know the Ellis County Conservatives do all kinds of crap in the dark, and we're going to continue to call that out. But they don't pick a candidate and then bash every other conservative candidate. The RNC doesn't do that. The DNC doesn't have 5 candidates for president and pick one during a campaign and bash all the others. They support all of them. Yet the Ellis County Conservatives are in love with Brian Harris. They worship Brian Harris like groupies. Hedke and Ponce. I need to come up with a name for those two. Uh, but it's disgusting, and yet people in this community are blind to it.
But I don't think I'm familiar in most places of having supplemental organizations to support the Republicans or the Democrats. I mean, is there
Yeah,
a liberal
yeah.
Ellis County liberals?
Well, no, there are
I mean, is
there's the
there a
Ellis County Democrat Party, there's the Ellis County
Democrat?
GOP,
All right,
there's and
but 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 but
those are, I would call those entities, if you will.
right.
Those are established,
This
certified.
is side fluff, right?
The Ellis County Conservatives want you to think that they're along those lines. Just by the name alone would suggest that they are an organization that is all about conservatives. That's what their name is.
Right.
But they bash conservatives. They bash. Um, I don't care if they bash me, which plenty of that's going on right now. But that's not going to change who I am. But to suggest that I'm a liberal or a rhino is laughable. Uh, I I'll debate any of them. I'll debate all of them, one on whatever number, and we'll find out who the real conservative here is. But the idea that we are ignoring the failures of a guy like Brian Harrison to represent us in Austin and to make sure that Ellis County is taken care of, has proper funding, has proper infrastructures, has proper the needs of this community are met. To rely on this guy is laughable. I mean, this guy is a joke, and he has his little proxies that get up and post things about Matt and John that are awful.
Yeah, and
And
is it this District 10?
10, yeah. No,
10.
no, no, yeah, HD10.
s- Um, I pulled that up the other day. I saw that that map is kind of weird on that district. It does shoot up through
A little.
through
Through where?
all the way up through Dallas.
No, I don't think so. I think it's largely we can bring a map next week and we can confirm, but the majority of it is Ellis County.
Right.
So anyway, we're going to be talking more about that next week. I will have my endorsement column for that race and then other races as well. So I just think it's time for us to wise up. And look, jumping on me and calling me names, and I mean Amy Hetke coming up with some of the most crass, vulgar, despicable. I mean, you talking about a bottom feeder now. She's proven that all the years she lived here. She doesn't even live in Ellis County, and is running the Ellis County Conservative group. It's. Do you hear me? Do you guys hear me? Amy Edkey, who is ostracized, isolated. She's a pariah. Uh, Legal problems. Been arrested for Antifa kind of stuff. Uh, Uses kind of language you don't find anywhere but I'm talking about in the worst of society, doesn't live in this community, and she is the Ellis County Conservatives. That is laughable. And for those of you that just accept that and move on with your support, shame on you, because she's already been run out of this community. Ponce is a joke as well. And yet people are just ignoring that. One other thing I want to mention real quick about the race for uh, Ellis County Judge is we have Lane Grayson, who's been a commissioner for quite some time. I know Lane, and I know him well, and I like him. I respect him. I admire him. I think he's going to be an excellent county judge. We'll have more to say about him uh, Thursday, maybe next Tuesday. He's running against, or these guys are running against him. Uh, Cameron Rayburn, the former Ennis mayor, young man, 28 years old, I believe, running against Lane. Uh, Cameron has his baggage from Ennis, and then of course my old friend Travis Smith, who I know better than I want to know. Travis, who's a sitting city councilman, arrogant enough to not resign from that and focus on the Ellis County judge race, which I think is representative of who he is. He's running as well. And to the extent that if Travis Smith, just in the name of pure transparency, if Travis Smith were running for dog catcher, not that there's anything wrong with dog catchers, uh, I would vote against him. And because the lack of ethics is off the charts, and I don't think he should be anywhere near. I don't think he should be sitting on city council, and apparently he doesn't either. If he's running for another job, this one he wants because it's paid, but no way can he be the Ellis County judge. And if he is, then we'll you're talking about vetting, constant vetting. Just like if Harrison happens to win, we're going to be on him nonstop. So there you have it for some local stuff. Let's talk about ice. What say you about ice?
Ice, ice, baby. Ice, ice, baby. Here's the thing. Oh, did you see? You know how I feel about AI
Yeah.
and the dogs and all the different things. My wife showed me something the other day about Trump planning to rename ICE the National Immigration Customs Enforcement. So it would be called
Nice.
NICE, so that the everybody that's critical of ICE will always have to refer to it as
That's funny.
NICE. I thought that was great.
That is
And then I
funny.
looked it up here this morning. and I see that there's no substance to that rumor, and so it's just an AI deal. But here's the deal about ICE. They have a job, and I don't know that they go about it right all the time. But the problem is, it becomes a systemic thing. When you realize that Texas has put away 25% of all ICE detainments and deportations happened in Texas.
Mhm.
But how does it work in Texas? ICE works in cooperation with the local authorities, and the local authorities let them know we are letting a guy out now that we have found is illegal, and they'll come and pick him up. Okay. And that's what doesn't happen in Minnesota. That's what doesn't happen in other places. And that is the root cause. It is a systemic cause. That's my number one thought. And number two, um, coming with masks, no other law enforcement branches come with masks. I don't know that they've gotten the proper training and uh, but I think they're scatter shooting, going in looking for people instead of getting the low hanging fruit that you can get by getting them from the enforcement agencies. But why not? Because that's not how it works in other places.
Yeah, well, I mean, ICE,
I think that makes
ICE,
sense.
yeah, ICE. We hear about it's like anything else. It's the loud, awful examples that often rise to the top in American
One bad
society,
apple ruins the whole barrel.
and it then we're all painted like America's painted with this ICE issue. Really, what we ought to acknowledge is that there is not an ICE issue in America. There's an ICE issue in Minneapolis. There's an ICE issue in Los Angeles. There's an ICE issue in Chicago, and probably San Francisco. And so these cities, which are big cities, but still in the grand scheme of the cities in America, are only a few that are sanctuary cities. Um, they are masking what's going on there is masking the success that ICE is having in other parts of the country, not the least of which is Dallas and Fort Worth. We don't hear we had a shooting several months ago from some dude in a sniper kind of thing. Since then, we've not had any issues in Dallas with detainees being shipped out. But so I say to anybody, including you, Jeff, what is it that ICE is doing that's wrong? If you say, well, they're not trained well enough, they it's like you and me and Sammy. Let's say if somebody said, that's the person you got to go get right over there. He and in most places we just walk over and get him. But in these places, he's behind a chain linked, enclosed place that we can't get into with normal means like we would in non-sanctuary cities. So what do we got to do? So we that's a criminal. We're talking about criminals, not just despite what the media says. We're not talking about right now. We're not talking about criminals who just you know uh, jaywalked here. We're talking about thugs, murderers, rapists, pedophiles, whatever you name it. We got to get that dude. And so what are we going to do? Well, we're going to have to use some means that we don't want to use, and we're going to do it. That's what's happening. And so it's like if Fry in Minneapolis, if it wasn't a sanctuary city, he's got criminals in their jails. That ought to be sign enough, or uh, they're at home and the police know where they are. Stay out of our way. Let us go do our job.
Right. And what do Minneapolis, LA, and Chicago all have in
Well, they're
common?
liberal sanctuary cities.
They're liberal cities.
Yes, they're
Okay.
sanctuary.
And
They're in the cover. There's no if you hear the word sanctuary, you might as well just it's synonymous with liberal and vice versa.
What does sanctuary mean?
It means is where you can play a safety.
Okay.
So if my
Okay.
home was a sanctuary and say you were in trouble, not legal trouble or criminal trouble, but you were just well in that case too. But if you were just in trouble and you needed a place to go,
Okay.
So, I mean, and the whole thing about sanctuary cities, it's kind of like inventing a law in a term for what you want to do. I don't think we've ever had in our history of our country sanctuary states
mhm.
or cities. And who decides who has the authority to say we're a sanctuary city? I guess towns make laws,
Well,
right? You know,
I mean, you got local laws, you got local officials, you got state officials. Usually, there's not going to be like in Texas. I don't, I don't think we have a sanctuary city, largely because we have a governor and
right.
an administration that says we don't believe in that crap.
What makes us like what makes a sanctuary city
That's my
sanctuary?
point.
Just
Oh,
Somebody made a freaking law
oh,
saying,
well, they're all liberal.
yeah.
They're all in states that are liberal or blue
Okay.
states,
So they
and
just
there are places that says
yeah.
if you're an illegal immigrant and you
oh
know it, and we know it,
safe.
you can stay here.
Oh my
And so what
gosh.
is happening is that these cities like Minneapolis, ICE, they're in some of them are in jail, so ICE knows that who they are. Just go to the jail
That's how we
cell
do it here.
and put cuffs on them and ship them home. We don't hear about any of that, but it happens. It's happening right now as we speak.
And I'm not saying every ICE arrest in this state happens that way, but far and away the majority of them do.
Well, we don't hear about if they don't happen that way and it gets a little out of hand, we'd hear about it.
Yeah.
But in Minneapolis, the government there, city government and state government are saying, we're not going to help you. We're not going to allow you access to those people. So you see ICE driving down the streets. They're going to somebody's house because they know they're illegal and they're going to ship them home. You got these protesters, rioters in the way. You don't have any help with law enforcement. And it just turns into a riot, a brouhaha, which is what happens.
And
And two people have been killed.
I think that's maybe some reason why they do wear the masks. One for protection, and then from physical harm, and then from them finding out their face, their family. Because whenever people see an ICE agent, it's different than a police officer. People don't just attack a police officer. But if somebody were to see a ICE agent in Minnesota, they're gonna start throwing stuff,
Well,
attacking.
in
So
those
I think,
sanctuary cities, they wear masks, yes, to protect themselves and their families, because with the advent of AI and everything else
yeah,
today, we can find out where,
Yeah, but you know what? We don't see all the other police officers. The police officers in any community are known in that community, and they go to the grocery store and they're not wearing their outfit, and they say, "Good to see you, Officer Lynch."
yeah,
I
no,
You
I,
know?
I
I
I just
agree.
think ICE and police are a little. I know they're kind of like the same thing, but I think ICE is more controversial to
Oh
where,
yeah, no
yeah,
doubt.
to
Yeah,
where if they see them, they wouldn't say, have a good
well,
day.
we're going to continue to be pro ICE here, and
Oh
to
yeah,
all the ICE agents, I don't even know of an ICE agent. I don't know who one is.
ice baby.
But we ought to stand firm with these guys. Do killings like what we saw in Minneapolis, are they good? Of course not. We don't want to see any of that. But like the second guy that was shot, the media was Elizabeth Warren. We should have shown that video. She was standing. Eventually, the conservatives in D.C. said this is how bad it is. So she's given a talk or a memorial or whatever to this guy about this guy,
Hmm.
saying how wonderful the human being. He wouldn't hurt a fly. He's soft and gentle and blah blah blah. That's what she said in the memorial. Well, then we find out what he did the week before he was killed, and it wasn't any of those things. So the whomever put in her behind her the things he actually in video, what he was doing, spitting, breaking,
Not
and
just he kicked the tail light
yeah,
completely out. And did you know that he got fired from his job
yeah.
as the nurse 3 months ago? That's just now coming out. And he no, it wasn't a current
And
nurse.
so,
And the things he was getting fired for were nasty things.
right. So
And
Elizabeth
what
Warren,
his wife has now said, his ex-wife,
I don't know.
his
He wasn't a good
ex-wife
guy.
said, "Man, this was no picnic, and this was a tough person to be living with, and I saw all kind of violence, and I was pregnant, and he assaulted me, and I lost my baby."
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy we're
So,
talking about,
so
and
we
none of
got
that is come
the media isn't going to
to
tell
light.
you, and you got Elizabeth Warren and others who are talking about wonderful, wonderful guy is. It's just an awful thing. So we'll continue to support ICE. We're not going to be able to get to our third topic of today, which was or is, and we will talk about that. Should Don Lemon, formerly of CNN, be arrested for? I mean, I'm not a journalist. I'm not a reporter. I have to tell people that all the time. I don't want to disrespect reporters. I didn't take journalism in high school. I didn't. I went to work for a newspaper. I was born with the passion to write, and so I'm a columnist. You don't have to be a reporter to be a columnist. Most columnists aren't. So, but Don Lemon Don Lemon should have been arrested, and we're going to talk about
We'll talk
this.
about that
Yeah.
more.
All right. We also had your random thoughts for today, Jeffrey,
Oh,
but we
yes,
don't have time. We don't have time because I want. If we do, we'll come back to it.
All right.
All right. So what's here? Poem.
Boom. This isn't in any of my books. It'll be in the next book. I wrote this right before I went to start teaching at St. Joseph. I thought, well, I need a poem for them. So I write a little poem about St. Joseph.
Cool.
It goes something like this. St. Joseph was the earthly father of our Lord. In that role, he surely never was bored. While wife Mary attained far more fame, Joseph was important just the same. Carpenter by trade, he taught God's son how items of wood were carefully made. Oddly, on a cross of wood, while bystanders stood, he died for us. He had said he must. Go back to our man Joe. An angel appeared one night and said, "Have no fright. Here's how it's going to go. Your girlfriend will bear a baby. In the world he will save." Joseph believed this strange story. Mary bore the child of glory. You see, without Joseph's buy-in, this story would never begin, of the man crucified to save us from our sin.
Very good. Very, very good.
All right.
All right. So, man, we haven't done a day in history
Haven't
in
done
a
it.
long, long time.
But I do it every day just
Ah.
to keep it going.
All right, let's hear it.
We have 8 entries this week. I went 9 and 2. Luckily, I had 2 bonuses out the chutes. Let's go, boys. The 15th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, granting Black American men the right to vote, was ratified.
Ratified. What?
Okay.
Approved.
Okay, I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
it meant
Yeah.
not okay. 19. I don't know. 1909.
1950. I don't know.
How about when did the Civil War end? Right after that,
60.
1870.
Oh, I was only off 100 years.
Oh, geez. Okay.
1870. Civil
1870.
War,
Yeah. Okay.
they're free. Now we're gonna. All right, here we go. During World War II, let's get up there. The U.S. transport ship SS Dorchester, which was carrying troops to Greenland, sank after being hit by a German torpedo in the Labrador Sea. Only some 230 of 900 aboard survived. Labrador is right there with Newfoundland.
1944.
1942.
Split the difference, 43.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
Funny.
Which would become known as the day the music died. Here's an opportunity for a bonus. You need to give me one of 3 names.
Okay. John Lennon.
The day the music died, rock and roll stars blank, blank, and blank died in a small plane crash
Oh.
near Clear Lake,
We're
Iowa.
talking about all together.
All together in one plane crash.
Why were they all together?
They
They
were
were
going
on
to
the
a
same
concert.
train.
They were
Oh.
going to a concert.
Oh, they were in the same.
Plane, small
Okay,
train.
okay.
Did I say plane?
Yeah, no, you said plane.
Plane. Rock stars of the
I'm
times.
gonna go 1970. 1970.
I'm gonna go.
You know what? I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you the names.
No, wait.
Maybe I'll get
I
you
may
to
know
the.
one of the names.
Okay.
Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly.
1968.
Buddy Holly is one of them, along with Richie Valley and the Big Bopper.
And
1968 is wrong. Taking on
I got 70.
59.
59.
Oh, I missed
59.
that one, but I got one of them right.
Dang.
The Soviet probe Luna 9 became the first man-made object to make a soft landing on the moon. Had to be
Nine-
before we put our first man on the moon.
1980.
67.
66.
Man.
I did not remember this happening, and so I got it wrong. A U.S. Marine jet sliced through the cable of a ski gondola near Cavalese, Italy, causing the car to plunge hundreds of feet, killing all 20 people inside.
Wouldn't that be awful?
Can you imagine that?
What?
You're in a gondola.
The thing that
And
like
Goes
goes
down.
like a mountain?
Yeah. And all of a
Plane went.
sudden, a U.S. Marine
Cut the
jet
cords,
runs into it. And
Probably
then
didn't see the
fell?
cords.
you didn't see that coming when you went out this morning,
No,
did
Bro.
So we had our last one was 1966.
Six.
So I'm going to say 83.
I'm gonna say 89.
98.
Oh, we jumped.
Dude, that is horrible.
Yeah. An Egyptian passenger ferry sank in the Red Sea during bad weather, killing more than 1,000 people. You don't think you're going to die that way either, do you?
2007.
2008.
6.
Uh,
Stay in the neighborhood.
Six,
Good
seven.
boys. Stay in the neighborhood. A truck bomb exploded in a busy street market in Bangladesh, killing more than 100 people, one of the deadliest single attacks in the Iraqi capital.
How many do we have left?
Yeah, one more after this.
I'm gonna go 2014.
2019.
22007. I said stay in the neighborhood.
Oh, dang.
I was trying to help you guys.
I got it though.
Yeah.
More than 3 dozen freight cars of a train carrying hazardous materials derailed in East Palestine, Ohio, close to the Pennsylvania line. The derailment prompted an immediate evacuation.
Joe Biden did nothing. Still hasn't.
Thank you. 2021.
2023.
2023.
Oh my god.
You still
Dang.
got it, though.
Booyah.
You still got it.
Booyah, booyah. 6 and 3.
Evacuation, like of the
6 and 3.
state.
How'd you finish?
I got 3 right.
3 right.
4. 1, 2, 3.
All right,
4.
Jeff, do your if you have them, do you have them?
Yeah, I got them.
All right, do them.
Random thoughts.
Random thought.
Be demanding, not demeaning.
It's good.
Just another soldier in the army of love. That's all of us, isn't it? Aren't we that?
Yeah.
No doubt. The Constitution is not an inconvenience, it's a requirement.
Yes.
I wrote this after coming back from the golf course right before Christmas, playing another one of my terrible, terrible rounds, always feeling like why do I even play? And I said to myself, accept your inadequacies. And soonish turns into noonish.
Yeah. I
And
does.
then and I actually had 6 because I got this one the other day from our man Wyatt Johnson with the Dallas Stars, young superstar
Yeah.
for the Stars. Confidence is a hell of a drug.
Isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I should tell Maury will tell you if you said to Maury, my buddy in Buffalo, if you said, name one quote that Scott, because I gave quotes all the time up there in my meetings and such
Yeah.
every week. He'd say, what quote sticks with you today? Maury would tell you, confidence through preparation.
Confidence through preparation.
You
I like
you
it.
prepare and you can knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
And I'll tell Sammy and I'll tell any young man listening, women, I mean, they like looks, obviously, but women are super attracted to confident men,
No doubt.
confident, bold men.
No doubt.
All right, so
Do you have
That's
your
how
book?
both of us got good wives.
yeah, maybe
Evidently.
so. All right, our facts that are not maybe facts. Facts, no, they are facts. Well, you got to determine that. That
I-
sound like BS.
I love this part of the show.
All right, you
Here we
ready?
go.
This is a different one. True or false? The Pope, I
Mhm.
don't know which Pope, but the Pope once declared black cats to be an incarnation of Satan.
What does incarnation mean?
No, that's Satan. It's like I was saying a minute ago. About
I'll say true. Because it's bad luck if they cross the street or if you see them crossing the street.
You know, I gotta say no, false.
It is true.
Wow.
Pope Gregory the Ninth
That's
believed that
mean.
black cats were tied to the devil, which caused many followers to shun or even kill cats.
Oh, that's horrible.
Some believe that the lack of cats to keep the rat population in check may even have contributed to the spread of the bubonic plague.
Oh.
Do not let anybody be influenced on your views of Catholicism by a pope from the
Yeah,
9th
no,
century.
well,
Thank
or
you very
about
much.
a cat.
Don't
Also, in our next couple of shows, we're going to talk about the Minto development that has been approved by this city council in a 3-2 vote. I want to talk about who voted for it, who didn't. I want to talk about why, whether we're for it or against it, and why in either case. So we'll talk more about that along with Don Lemon.
And guess what? Our next show is only in 2 days.
Yeah, so we'll be back Thursday at noon. Thank you for being here today. It's Scott, Jefferson, Sammy, Grit and Good News. Go to Substack.com, search Grit and Good News, subscribe at $5 a month, and you'll get all kinds of content that will at least make you think. All right, with that, it's all yours, Jeffrey.
Have a great day and try to put a smile on somebody's face.